Okay, chapter 2 is all about one of the most important skills you'll have to learn, which is how to use conversion factors. And a couple of things to remember. First, use only the conversion sheet that's in the front of your book, because those are the only conversion sheets that you'll be able to use on the actual quizzes. So these are the constants and conversions that you are going to be using all semester long. You'll actually be using these as well. But for this chapter, we're going to be dealing with these, and these. And these are the ones that you're going to use all the time. Do not look anything up on YouTube. Use these, okay? Because that's what you're going to be given in an exam. Those are in the front of your book, so you can use those. Great. We're going to teach you the right way of doing things, and just multiplying or just dividing isn't it. Instead, we're going to write in all the units for every conversion. We're going to find your roadmap to take you from where you start, the given units of your problem, to where you want to end up, the final units of your problem. Each conversion is like multiplying by 1, because we're not really changing the value of the number. We're merely restating it in a different way. And you can do that whenever you just multiply by 1. It's sort of like saying 1 week is the same as 7 days. Same exact amount of time, you're just stating it in a different way. So 1 week is equal to 7 days, and 7 days is equal to 1 week. And again, the basic way we do things is we start with the value given, and then make sure your units cancel to end up with the units that you want. And then be careful with your sig figs. We'll talk about that a lot. So, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 problems that I'd like you to look at. Write them down. Do the work. Show all the conversions. Make sure you write your answer with the right sig figs and the right units. Hit pause now, and then whenever we get back, we'll see if your work and your answers look the same as mine. Okay, hit pause. And we're back. Okay, so first problem. Feet to inches. You guys know the conversion between feet and inches, right? It's a one-step deal. Every arrow that you would use is one conversion factor. So we'd start with the problem and its value given, including the units, 37 feet. And we know the conversion factor that we want to use is 12 inches are the same as 1 foot. Now, feet cancels with feet, just like grams over grams cancels out to 1. Or A over A cancels out to 1, or 6 over 6 cancels out to 1. So when the feet cancel, you're left with the only units you want, which are inches. This is 2 sig figs. We will find out very shortly that this is an infinite number of sig figs. And so the result is 2 sig figs. So whenever you do that calculation, 37 times 12 equals 444. The only way we can write that to 2 sig figs is 4.4 times 10 to the 2 inches. Is that what you got? I hope so. We'll talk more on the next video. For this example, all of the conversion factors that you'll be using here will be considered exact. Okay? So let's try this one. 37 miles is equal to how many inches? Well, I don't know how many exactly inches there are in a mile, but I know how many feet there are in a mile, and I know how many inches there are in a foot. So can you see that this is a 2-step process? It's 2 steps. 2 different conversion factors. Every arrow is a conversion factor. So we'd start with 37 miles. Notice that if miles is on the top, we want miles on the bottom so that we can cancel out something from before. If feet is at the top, we want feet on the bottom so that we can cancel out something from before. That leaves us with inches. Do you see how writing each conversion factor, just the units, a unit analysis here, can allow us to make sure that we set up the problem right? And now you just need this conversion, and guess what? I give you that one. 5,280 feet for 1 mile. So the 5280 goes with the feet, and the 1 goes with the mile. You already know there's 12 inches per 1 foot. 37 times 5280 times 12 is a great big honking number. The calculator says 2.34432 times 10 to the 6th. Since this is 2 sig figs and both of these are infinite, the answer will have 2 sig figs. So we're talking 2.3 times 10 to the 6th. And if you wrote that, you'd be wrong. The reason why is because you left off units. You got the value right, you got the sig figs right, but you didn't write down the units. Notice that everything cancels but inches, and so that gives you, matches up the units that you want. 2.3 times 10 to the 6 inches is the answer. Does it make sense? Well, sure it does. 37 miles is an awful lot of inches. Okay, let's try the next one. Tons to pounds. That's just a one-step deal. How do you know? Well, check it out. This is masses. 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. That's a English ton. So that's a one-step deal. 131 tons times 2,000 pounds for every 1 ton. Tons cancel. You're left with pounds. Those are the only units that are left. This is 3 sig figs, so the answer will be 3. So now you just plug it in and write the answer to 3 sig figs. 131 times 2,000 equals 2.62 times 10 to the 5th pounds. My calculator gave me that number exactly. So that's one time that your calculator is going to maybe come up with exactly the number you need. But remember, it doesn't give you the units. So you've got to take care of your business with sig figs, units, and values. And I want to show you one more thing on this problem. Let's say we wrote this the opposite way. Uh-oh, nothing cancels. Do you see that right now I have units of tons squared per pounds? That's what tons times tons gives you on the top, and pounds is left. Those aren't units that are what the problem asks for, which is pounds. So that's your one-stop check to say, oops, that's not the way my conversion factor has to go. This is. It's real simple. If you write in your units, you actually get a built-in check while doing the problem. Okay, we got one more. Seconds to weeks. Well, what's the conversion? Seconds to minutes, minutes to hours, hours to days, days to weeks. That's your roadmap, and your job is to be able to figure out the conversions that you need. Once you do that, it gets pretty easy. So 1.41 times 10 to the 7 seconds. Okay, so Seconds to minutes. What goes on top? Minutes or seconds? Well, minutes has to go on top so that we can cancel out the seconds. And of course, there's 60 seconds per 1 minute. Oop, let me make sure you can see me here. There, that's better. Minutes is on top, minutes on the bottom. We're going minutes to hours now. So hours is on the top. There's 60 minutes per 1 hour. Now we're going to days. There are 24 hours in 1 day. Notice how each step along the way I cancel out something from before. Days to weeks. 7 days for every 1 week. Days cancel. All my units in the numerator. 1, 1, 1, 1 weeks. In the denominator, 1, 1, 1, 1. So my only units are weeks. Since all these are known exactly, we're going to use 3 sig figs in our answer. And now let's just plug and chug and see what we get. 1.41 times 10 to the 7 divided by 60 divided by 60 divided by 24 divided by 7 equals 23.3 weeks. Okay, so 23.3 weeks. The key here is to write things out with your units, making sure they cancel, and to practice. Practice your butt off. Exercise 2A will help you. We'll go over different kinds of conversion factors with different kinds of significant figures next time.